Hey everyone, I'm at Dragon Man's and got out of the weather we were having. As you can see, I am in the store now. If you haven't heard about us, we're a multi-recreational facility 8 miles east of Colorado Springs, consisting of a museum, farm store, shooting ranges, paintball parks, dirt bike tracks, a motorcycle rebuilding shop. And speaking of which, since I've kind of been taking over the channel a little bit with these videos, Mel is still here. He is my dad, and he is going to tell you, what do you think of this semi-automatic ban bill?
Yeah, I think it's terrible. It should never happen. So anyway, let me tell you about my place here. We got 6 shooting ranges here. We got instructor ranges, we got a combat range, 220-yard range, 100-yard range, and a handgun range. And this is a Class 7 gun store here. We sell everything from semi to fully automatic weapons. I have my machine shop in the back. I do a motorcycle mail order business for people all around the United States. My museum is one of the best in the country. It'll be open this year, April 27th on a Sunday at 10 o'clock. And after that, for the whole summer, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, starting at 10 o'clock. It's $20 per person. It takes about 2 hours to go through, and guaranteed, you won't be disappointed. It's one of the best in the country. We go all the way back to George Washington, our first president, 1789. We cover the American Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. So you guys want to check it out, come on out.
All right. So I wasn't trying to make this a super long video, but I guess, you know, we're just trying to each have some spotlight here.
Well, one more thing.
Okay, one more thing.
Okay, that Sunday, April 27th, we're also going to have a machine gun shoot for a grand opening. No reservations needed. Over 50 automatic weapons available to the customers.
And
the more money you bring, the more fun you're going to have.
That's right. And we are going to have our largest event of the year. We had it last year. It's going to be September 13th and 14th. So regardless of this bill, we are still planning our Front Range Freedom Shoot. And that'll happen this year as well. So come out and see us. And you can, you know, just come in, see our faces, Tuesday through Sunday, 9:30 to 4. We are here more than we are at home. So I just love it.
Any questions, give us a call, 719-683-2200. And the best time to come meet me is in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I'm still in a good mood.
That's right. Don't come in the afternoon. All right. So, yes, Dragon Man's still here. And that's how the place really got its name, from Dragon Man's motorcycle. He built a fire-breathing dragon motorcycle in 1967. And when people would see it go down the road, they would say, "There goes that Dragon Man," in Brooklyn, New York. So pretty cool. And then my parents came out here in 1982. My mother is no longer with us for about 12 years now, so I help my dad with their business. So definitely gives me a lot of motivation and passion for why I want to fight these bills and see their legacy live on and see the business live on. So I just want to give you an update on SB 25-003. It was heard in the initial committee last Tuesday, voted yes along party line votes, even though triple the amount of people that showed up were in opposition of the bill. It was immediately put on the schedule for a Senate reading on Friday, but luckily a deal was kind of worked out between the Republicans and the Democrats to delay it to this Friday. So I'm going to try to post this video tonight. It's Wednesday, February 5th, but if not, I'm going to post it definitely by the 6th. And if you guys want to send out an email based off of what I tell you in this video, highly, highly encourage it, because it could potentially be heard on Friday, February 7th. From that time, it could get delayed again. And if it gets delayed again, that's really good news. That means that the Democrats don't want to waste time on it that day because they don't think they have the votes. However, if they think they have the votes, then it could go to its first reading. And if that's the case, then we'll either be hearing about amendments or, you know, just kind of going from there. But this bill has not died yet, and it could still potentially pass the Senate. So I know you guys don't want to hear that. However, I want to let you all know not to lose hope. And if it gets to the House, we still have a chance to fight it there. This is not over. And every year that these come up, if this is, you know, this is the 3rd year that they brought it up. If it comes back next year, in the following year, we have some really good, passionate, smart people in our community fighting this thing. And we are determined. So they have a fight on their hands, and we are not backing down. We are not running out of energy. We're not getting tired. So we're going to stick it out. And we're just going to keep fighting to see this through and doing anything that we can to eradicate it and eradicate this disease of these horrible bills that are coming through our beautiful state of Colorado. All right, so if it does go to the reading, or either this week or the next week, we need 6 senators to flip their vote from a yes to a no. There's currently 35 senators, there's 23 Democrats and 12 Republicans. We need 6 of those Democrat senators to flip their vote, or not vote along party lines. So some good news and some bad news. The good news is that 4 Democrat senators have either publicly stated or told some really good sources from within that they will be voting no. That means the bad news, we still need to flip 2 senators into convincing them to vote no on this. So if you see this video by tomorrow, definitely send out some emails. If you go to wethesecondcolorado.com, very proud of my sister, Ava, and also her friend Leslie Hollywood for starting this organization, putting out one of the most cohesive, easy to navigate websites that you can potentially find in Colorado on these bills, giving you updates, giving you links that are really, really useful. So on their website, they even have a link on the front page where you can just click it and it auto-populates the BCCs to an email to email all of the senators. So that's a really great, useful tool. And then also they have in there, if you want to just find your own representative, your own senator, and email just them directly as a constituent of their district, you can do that as well. But definitely utilize that website. I'm going to put the link to their website and also how to find who your representative is and also how to sign up to testify. A lot of really good, useful links in the description. All right, so the senators who basically have said that they are no vote, hopefully, and we don't know until they vote, right? But Nick Hinrichsen of Pueblo County, he actually put out a very public statement with like a Senate letterhead, basically saying that he will not vote in favor of this bill unless it is deduced down to RFTs and bump stocks. He also said that he doesn't think that it would really drastically reduce crime and ultimately have the outcome that, Tom Sullivan and the other sponsors of this bill want. So that was like a pretty big deal because he is the majority whip in the Senate, and it really kind of puts out a big statement to his peers, and hopefully it influences the people who are on the fence to be a no vote if their very own Democrat peer votes no as well, and gives them really valid reasons as to why he's voting like that. Dylan Roberts, he is in District 8. That encompasses like Gilpin, Moffett, and Summit County, kind of near Breckenridge. He's been known to vote a couple of different ways, so that's great that this is one of the bills that he would like to vote no on. Kyle Mullica of Adams County said that he would be a no vote. It's really surprising because he's generally in favor of pro-gun legislation that I've seen, but I think he's more for moderate gun legislation and not really for extreme legislation. Hopefully that's the case. Marc Snyder in Manitou, here in El Paso and Teller County, he said that he was not aware that this was really like a ban bill and that it was really just an extension of the 2013 magazine capacity limitation restriction bill. And therefore, I think, that was reflective of how or what the other senators were told when they, were made aware of this bill. They weren't really told the entire extent of the bill. And a lot of them just thought that it was another magazine bill. So I'm going to explain why you should also put that in your email when you do email these representatives. So those were the 4. And then Lindsey Daughtery, she's kind of on the fence. The information that she's given back in emails and also people who have met with her, she just is giving off the feeling that she just wants to see what maybe potential amendments are made, but doesn't, really give a yes or no as to what she might do. Those of you who emailed Tony Exum, I'm pretty sure that it's kind of just a lost cause. He gave me a very generic response, similar to most of other people who he emailed. And I've been told that now he actually would like to see a more extreme bill than this. And I am just a little disappointed in Tony because he couldn't even really give out a genuine response in his emails. And he was not really the majority option in the election that he won He was in a district that really the majority of votes went to Libertarians and Republicans. So unfortunately, those votes were split to those parties, and therefore Tony, as a Democrat, got a higher percentage than those other two parties. So what does that tell you? The people in his district are not majority Democrat, and if you are in Tony's district, which is right here in El Paso County, like the Cimarron Hills area, definitely let him know, like, hey, I'm a constituent in your area. I will be your voter in the next election, and we're not happy with this. Your vote is not reflective of our views. Some people that you can email, however, that have been kind of switched out with the last kind of list that I've given you. So Dylan Roberts, Marc Snyder, Kyle Mullica, Lindsey, Daughtery, just still let them know, like, hey, it's a good choice to make and a great decision that we support if you do have no vote because of these reasons, and just kind of solidify that they are doing a great job in voting no, because this bill would be extremely damaging to Colorado. In addition to that, so Janice Marchman, Senator Janice Marchman, she's out of Boulder in Larimer County, District 15. When I first saw her name on this list, kind of given to me from people kind of working more closely with the Capitol, I asked them, like, why would you think that she would flip her vote? She's a Democrat, she's near Boulder County, she's a teacher, and I would think that she would be like a very definitive yes vote on this bill. But I was told that when she won her election, it was a very, very small fraction that she won by 400 votes, and she is kind of more in the Larimer County. So I don't think she wants to be forced to vote on this because she is, I guess, up for re-election soon. And so, that's definitely going to be reflective of, what people will take into account when they're going to the polls and they're going to cast those votes in her district. So again, she's in District 15. And if you are living there, definitely send her an email, let her know how you feel. And I'm going to kind of bring up some points as to what you should be emailing them if you were kind of lost on, like, well, what do I say? The second one is, that's kind of new, Senator Dafna Michaelson Jenet. She's in District 21 in Adams and Arapahoe County. I was also told that she just, barely won her re-election by a very small percentage as well. So, just if you're in that district, District 21, email her and let her know, we're definitely not for this. We're a constituent and you're hanging on by a thread. So if you want to keep that seat, this would be a really good decision for you to do, is to vote no on SB 25-003. Okay, so what should you be saying in your emails? Just some pointers. So a couple of things that, I've kind of been discussing with some people in our community about this bill, and that we've all basically concluded that when you email a bunch of people with opposite views as you, logic kind of goes out the window. You can't really, it can be difficult to kind of see eye to eye on some things, and it kind of just might get down to the very pragmatic facts of the implications of the bill. So, you just saying, well, it's my Second Amendment right, and that's what we value. They may not really care that much about that argument. So here's some arguments that they might actually care about. So first, let them know about the huge safety implications this could have. We all were told, if you ever took a firearm class, to store your firearms away from your ammo. Well, now if you have a fixed magazine and you want to be prepared for an intruder in your home, you are going to be forced to store that ammo directly, into your magazine. And not even that, but you can't even just immediately put the magazine into the mag well and bring that bolt forward to chamber around. It will just be automatically fixed in there. All you have to do is release the mag catch or take that firearm off of safety and press the trigger, and there might be a lot more negligent discharges. There might be some fatal accidents, and I am hearing constantly from Democrats that firearms are the #1 killer among children. Well, if you really truly think that, do you think this bill is going to help that at all? When now we have to have a firearm loaded with, cartridges really right in the chamber, or only like a small catch of a magazine release to load one in there. So I don't think that's going to help with any of those statistics. And if they want to do anything about that, this is not the bill to decrease the amount of fatal accidents that are happening with children and our youth. Next thing would be to let them know that this is going to be really, really hard to regulate. So they are going to grandfather in, if this bill were to pass, the firearms that do accept a magazine. How do you really prove if, someone bought a firearm pre-ban or post-ban? Are they a felon? Which, by the way, the first consequence of this bill would be a misdemeanor 2, I believe, and then it goes on to being like a 6th grade felony charge. So not to be totally blunt, but I have been hearing some arguments from the Black community, and I do think that it is a very honest way to feel that if they were to get pulled over or caught with a firearm that they had pre-ban, they would automatically be profiled. The gun would be confiscated, and they would have to prove that it was a purchase pre-ban to potentially get it back. Whereas maybe someone who isn't profiled would be allowed to keep it and then prove, later that it was purchased pre-ban and not immediately confiscated. So I honestly have heard a lot of people from Black communities say that they're extremely worried about this bill and that it is inherently racist. Not to be totally blunt and not to make it about race, but those are some arguments that I got, and I think that they are completely valid. Last but not least, let these senators know exactly what's in this bill, because I don't actually think that they know what's in the bill. I think a lot of them were lied to and told that it's a magazine restriction bill made to regulate the magazine bill in 2013 more so, and I don't think that they actually know that it bans a ton of firearms used for hunting, 22 AR variants. Really the term gas operated is so vague that it really could encompass so many different types of firearms that have never been used in a mass shooting, and more than likely will never be used in a mass shooting because it would be the worst thing to use, like a 22 and AR, pistol or so forth, and let them know what this bill is. And it's not just about magazine capacity limitations and regulating that. All right, so at the end of the day, definitely send out emails. I do think that having some arguments from the firearm community to sort of challenge a lot of arguments that they might be getting from these moms who demand action. The Newtown lobbyists, yes, they are in the Capitol. They're here in Colorado talking to our senators, just kind of whispering things in their ear. So a lot of senators are getting a lot of information from a lot of different angles. And so we need to speak up. We need to make our voices loud, and we need to definitely saturate out those other arguments and those claims where they're saying that this is a great bill and you definitely need to sign this and this will fix everything and all that kind of stuff. Some other bills, first of all, to just kind of give you guys some insight that we are in opposition to is going to be HB 25-1133. This is going to go on the House floor February 13th. It's a requirement for the sale of ammunition to increase the age from 18 to 21. This is kind of going to, be like the sister bill to the new law that increased the firearm age limit to 21 to purchase a firearm. So this is going to be sponsored by Monica Duran. She sponsored a ton of gun bills. District 23, Kyle Mullica, District 24 of Adams County, and then Lindsey Gilhurst, District 8 of Denver County. This will also be implemented online, so you can't even go online and purchase that as well. So, and then there's going to be a limit to firearm purchases per month by each person. This has not been given a date or a whole lot of information. This is to be announced, so thankfully we actually haven't heard a lot about that, but I'm sure once they get through these other bills, they will get to that one, because it's Colorado, and Colorado's been a little bit weird in the last couple of years, so we'll see what happens. And I actually didn't know this, but in the last, I think 5 or 6 years, 20 gun bills have actually passed through. So a lot of gun legislation in the last couple of years, so we definitely want to see that slow down and definitely kind of regain some neutrality here in Colorado. All right, some bills that we support in the upcoming days and months. So tomorrow, if you are an FFL holder here in Colorado, definitely sign up to testify in favor of HB 25-1055, and you can just go to the link to testify and select by hearing item, select HB 25-1055. You can do in person or via Zoom, and then you'll just pick the date and time, but you'll want to do it by hearing item. So, and then just fill out some information. This is put forth by Max Brooks of District 45. He's in Douglas County. And this bill is really to repeal the law that was passed last year to require gun stores to now get a state permit and adhere to all of those requirements. So people like myself. So I will be testifying, and we are already regulated by ATF. So this is very duplicitous information that they want each of the departments to, that they want the department to follow to match the ATF's guidelines. Not only that, but they want like all of our employees to submit fingerprint cards and be ran a background check on a federal level. I find that really intrusive and also not necessary, especially when someone from Colorado can come in and their background check is just ran by CBI and they can get a firearm and walk out with it when they only had to pass the background check for a search through just the state. So what's the difference between them owning a firearm and our employees being around firearms when they can own it by just being approved by a state, background check? So also upcoming is that we're in support of the gun community, HB 25-1128, income tax credit for firearm safety devices. This will essentially create a new tax credit bill to allow people to get up to like $200 for a safety device or put towards like a safe. Obviously, I'm going to be in support of that. The gun community is in support of that, and this was put on the table by Cecilia Espinoza. She's in District 4, that's Denver, and then Kyle Mullica, D24 in Adams County. So Kyle Mullica kind of goes a couple of different ways. And then also I'm going to talk about a bill, so HB 25-1062, actually a bill to penalize the theft of firearms and make theft of a firearm a Class 6 felony, regardless of the firearm's value. Subsequent violations, including multiple firearms stolen in the same criminal incident, are a separate Class 5 felony. I love this so much. It basically now places just the punishment on the actual criminals, not going after law-abiding citizens. This is what we need. These are the kind of bills that I love to support. And this was put out, sponsored by Ryan Armagost. He's very pro-gun. He's in District 64, Larimer and Weld County. And then actually he somehow made this a bipartisan bill with the support of Monica Duran, District 23, Jefferson, and Hinrichsen in District 3 in Pueblo. So very bipartisan support. So the likelihood of this actually getting passed is actually pretty good. And I really, really appreciate Ryan for putting this on the table. So that's what's going on in Colorado. I will give you an update on what happens if the semi-automatic firearm ban bill goes to the Senate floor on Friday, and potentially after its second reading. I'll probably do a video just so that these aren't too repetitive and kind of space them apart. But I was actually getting approached by a lot of customers this week and calls just asking me what's going on with the bill. So just wanted to put this out for you guys, let you all know what's going on, and go and email those representatives if you live in their county, and also just email all the representatives. So really big thanks to all the people fighting this, and I'm going to put all the links in the description. So thank you for watching, and we hope to see you down here at Dragonman's. We're open Tuesday through Sunday, like my dad said, 9:30 to 4. Come down. It's a lot of fun here, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.